Hi, and welcome back. This is going to be a quick introduction video to the ShowFlower editor, give you a brief overview of the features and how it works. So let's get to it. This is the ShowFlower editor. This is where you will build your cue lists, edit them, and run them for a show or production. So first off, we have our show menu down here where you can select the show that you are calling or editing. We have a collapsible admin menu, which these are subject to change, where you can create a new show, save a show, refresh it in case there's any problems, uh, download a zip after the show, which includes the whole cue list, import a show in Excel or CVS format in case you've already done some of the cues beforehand, and download your entire cue list in a PDF for printing out later. Over here we have two buttons. One is your call mode button, one is your rehearsal button. When you press the call mode button, now your editable features within the cue list have now been disabled, so you can't change anything, you can't screw anything up. This is when you're calling the show and you're live and you know you have no more changes to make. Our next button here is the rehearsal button. When this button is pressed and you are running through the show, it will automatically calculate your start, your end, and your total runtime, your TRT times, based off of this counter up here as you step through the cues. So that way you can time your show out and have a rough idea at least of exactly how long each section is going to take. We have our timer and a full clock, so you always know what time it is. Kind of important. This clock will change colors once we start running the show and once we end the show. Section on here on the right is our call light buttons. As we go through the cues, let's reset this top. You will see this cue is in standby, and now we know that there is a standby cue on the deck and ready to go. If by any chance we need to hold this cue, we can press this hold button and this hold light will light up, and then we will manually have to go this cue. So say there is a problem on stage, someone has trouble getting in their costumes, something took longer than expected, we can pause everybody right here. The next one will be our go light, which will light up as soon as we advance a cue. So the standby light will go away and it will flash for a green to let everyone know that a go has been called, and then the standby will come back. We also have a call button. This call button triggers for everyone who is using ShowFlower, who is on the production side. If you are using the ShowFlower editor or the client, pressing this button will flash your screen like so, and give you an audible tone. So say you're the show caller, you can let everybody know, hey, attention, attention, attention. Or by chance that you are somewhere else using the client, it looks exactly the same. You can call back, let everyone know that, hey, I need your attention. This functions exactly like the call button on a ClearComm system, if anyone has used that. So it is exactly the same concept. Above this, we have our departments. So say by chance you are working on one section of cues. You can actually go through here and choose only the cues that you want to see. This really isn't that applicable on the actual editor side because most of the time you want to see every cue, but maybe you are fine tuning one section and there's just too much and you just want to get it off the screen, you can do that. That is what this hide button does. So say if we clicked on AV and hit hide, it's going to hide every cue now that is not AV related. So let's go back, take those back, and now we get all of our cue list back. And put this back to all just to be safe. So this section is the same for the editor and the client. Next under here is our announcements. As basically you can see, we have reset the top of show. As we step through the cues, like so, I'm going to press I'm going to start the show. Now our counter has gone green and our screen advances down, so we are constantly looking at what we need to see. And we advance that cue. You can see it is clearly on the announce mode, so go, Q1, and the description for what happens on the cue. If we hit our spacebar again or hit this go button, Q1 lights up. So not only do you get a visual indicator that a cue has been advanced here, And here you get what the actual queue is. So you are still having your queues called over the radio or ClearCom or some system that you're using. Now you have a visual indicator to make sure you actually heard that queue. This right here is your three queues as they're coming by, the one that we just ran through, what is on standby, so the next queue, and then what is on after that. So you can always see two queues ahead. So if you ever get confused as to where you are in the show, you know immediately, okay, this is where we're at, not just the current and the next standby. And in case there's a special queue coming up that requires something to happen or a lot of attention, you will know it's right up here. Underneath this, we have our special call section. This is a section that you can add and remove via this little, hey, we actually see it, little gear icon. You can open up, you can create and remove and reorder your special queues. So say you have a hold all queue, we can highlight it and send it. And now everyone who is using the ShowFlower system has received that cue. They got an audible alert, their screen flashed, and it comes up on the screen right here. And we can clear this queue out. You can define these for whatever you want. Maybe you have an emergency, maybe you have medical, maybe you have a weather hold, maybe whatever special queue that you have. Maybe say it's the open door for pastor or VIP person. Who knows? For your event, you can put those in there. To the right over here, you have the same thing that we had on the pedals feature, is you can send a text to all departments. So we can send a test message to everyone. And now it has popped up as general info, test, and the time. We can also make these a little more important. And as you see, the color has changed, and it definitely looks like this is more critical message. And then once everything is good to go, we can clear that out. Below that, we have our queue list, where we will have per department queue lists. So you can have sub queue lists inside of this. So say you have one just for rigging, or maybe security, or for ushers. You can have that tied into there as part of your main queue list. Next to that, we have our start show, our end show, and reset the top. So let's go ahead and stop our show. As you can see, now we have our time, and we can reset the top, and we're good to go for the next show. Now this is very busy, so sometimes we don't need all of this, so we can collapse it. And now that actual message bar goes away, but as us, the person calling the show, we can still see everything we need. So let's get over to the physical queue list, which is here below us. At the bottom, we have a status bar, which shows us that we are connected, our number of queues and total number of shows, and the IP address of the server. So we can always see at a glance that, like, yes, we are connected. Here are your queues. If we scroll to the bottom, you have an add queue button, which will create one of these blank. You can type in your description for the queue right here. You can give it a queue number. It also supports dots and things like that. So if you have sub queues in there that you like to step through, or you have a system, you can do that. Right here we have a box for a sub queue. If this is a sub queue, we can check this. Whoop. Oh, let's do that one. There we go. It's the first queue. It's not going to work. And as you can see, this is now a sub queue and has gone into standby, and it has joined itself with this queue and it indented itself over. So now we can immediately see that this one queue that we're calling is going to have several other queues immediately after it that are part of this master queue. And as you can see, it automatically added a 0.01 and changed it here and changed the title so you know it is a sub queue. Next to that, we have the departments. This is the same departments from before. This is a drop down. So you can see this currently says AV. It is represented here in color and text. It's also represented here. So we can say this queue applies to multiple departments. Seems unlikely, but there you go. There is every department with their color and their name, no confusion, and a quick color chip on the right hand side, so just at a glance you know immediately who this cue applies to. Next is our start, end, and TRT times that we can manually enter or use the rehearsal mode as we said previously. We have some notes. This is an expandable field. There you go. So we can put in nearly as many notes as we would need for a single cue. These are reorder buttons, so we can change the order of the cues if we put them in the wrong location. These are also, as you can see with the hand, draggable and droppable. And you can't see the hand because OBS doesn't let you see the hand. But it is going to a hand, and you can't see the overlay of me moving the cue around. Okay, so just trust me, the cue is moving around. You can drag and drop them just like a Kanban board. The other thing right here is you can insert images into your cue. So say maybe you have a slide that is going to prepare, or say an intro video or any type of video that's going to play. Video department, if they like you bunches or it was advanced to you, you can add some slides there, so some thumbnail images, so you can at a glance know that, hey, this is a video cue and this is what I should be seeing on screen. We have, and of course you can delete that image. You can save the cue or delete the cue. We also have a hold button, which will highlight this red hold button, let everybody know across this announce bar as well that a hold has been called until you physically clear it with this cue button, and then it will automatically clear the hold and go on to the next cue and trigger this cue. And then there's also our runtime there. This right here, this step subs. So say we take this sub, make this a sub cue, and we can make this a sub cue, and we can make this a sub cue. We have two options in how these cues advance. We can make it so that when we trigger this first cue, Q1, it is automatically going to trigger sub Q 1.01, 1.02, 1.03, and then take Q5 into standby so it is ready to go. If we do this step subs, it will allow us to step through each one of these. So let's go ahead and hit the space bar. And as you can see, it went ahead and triggered the first cue, lights up, and it's standing by for the next one. And it's standing by for the next one. Let's go back to reset the top. We will unstep these, and we will trigger our first cue. And as you can see, it triggered all the cues, and now we're on Q5, ready to go. Right in front of us, no questions, no flipping pages, no getting lost in our cue stack. So let's put these guys back. There we go. And we'll reset the top, make that a little cleaner. And then of course at our bottom, we can just add a new cue. Comes up blank, it's ready to go. We can add as many cues as we would like. And there we go. That is a quick overview of the ShowFlower editor. More changes to come, more features to come, but these are the basics of it, and we think it's a pretty good system. So we will catch you on the next video where we go over the client side. Have a good one.